Y'all only thought we were done on this car. Welcome back to the channel. Butch is getting ready to build us some exhaust.
Big dog.
The biggest of the dogs, right? Some good old 2-inch schedule LR80 that you're saying. So schedule 80 304 stainless, pre-beveled. This is some nice pipe here. Butch is gonna turn that and that all into that, to the exhaust into that. It's gonna work out pretty good. It's his first exhaust that he's ever really built header wise. Exhaust, that's exhaust. We all,
not a lot of exhaust.
yeah, we all been there, done that.
Header work.
Header game. Header game's a little different, just a little bit. But as you guys can kind of see the way that this factory one sits, that's basically how our aftermarket one's going to get built. All the primaries real easy. I think Butch will probably do 1 and 4 up over the top into the top, 2 and 3 down into the bottom of it, right there. It should be super simple. Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Get it down into the bottom, get that collector, get all the exhaust buttoned up. So he's gonna give me this weekend and bust that out for us. It's the last big piece to the puzzle of this car. Once we have that on, it's a matter of button up blinkers, tail lights, turn signals, the little stupid stuff that comes along with doing these projects, but it's the final stuff that you gotta get. But this car can go to the dyno, can get ran, can do so many things now once we get this exhaust done, and I gotta get a brake switch put in it. Once we get those two little things knocked out, we've got the throttle cable ordered for this car also. We did a custom throttle cable, did some lengths, some measurements, that should all work well. So as long as the measurements are right and the cable's right, we've got everything we need. We're gonna build this exhaust. I'm gonna get the engine in the wagon actually tomorrow, hopefully. As long as I can get the plate cut out on the CNC for my tranny mount side. I've got the, that's a good zap. I've got the passenger side mount and the front rear mounts. I'm using those out of an RSX. They're not made for this car, but they're gonna work. And then we'll just build all of our other mounts, kind of like we did on Donna's car here. Butch built those up, welded them all in. This car's fine. Those mounts are perfect the way they are. So all I really need to build is this guy. I don't have this guy per se, but that's super easy. Flat plate, we'll CNC it real quick, weld it up, and then I should have that mount or a style of it. The other thing that might make it really easy is that transmission uses just one stud, has one big old stud that comes up that a big nut goes down, so I might be able to do a sleeve washer style deal with the bushing that way and just utilize that factory mount that they utilize on those. But that's the dive in for this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into the action.
It's running good, you know. There she goes, guys. There she goes.
We love our customers. I mean, what more can you say? They pick them up and they're just smiling, happy, doing burnouts, just like I do burnouts in them. So you know what? If you guys are mad about me doing burnouts in customers' cars, don't be, because they do just as many as I do.
Yep. Yeah. We gotta break them here.
Yeah, like shoot, if they don't.
So they don't break them.
There it is. There it is. Yeah. I'm actually driving this one home tonight. The wife and I, we're gonna go cruise the right-hand drive CRX home, make sure it's good. There's select few I like to really make sure, and this is one of them. Miles, he's gonna be driving that car. I know it's good.
You can hear him.
Yeah, but this one, I don't know what's gonna happen to it after it leaves, and I just really want to make sure it's a good car for whoever it goes to. So, Butch and I, we knocked the OBD1 out on it. This thing's very healthy sounding. Actually, I can't say it's super. It is super healthy. It needs a tune. It's got like rolling anti-lag hooked up or something in the Honda right now. Someone was playing with it for sure. So I bet the last guy probably got it running, started, and then started messing with things in the Honda, thinking he was all cool, and then had big problems.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big problems.
Yeah. Adjusting timing to, yep. But yeah, I'm gonna drive this one home. We're gonna cruise it, and then tomorrow we're in to build some exhaust and put an engine in the wagon. So it's awesome. Donnie's out tuning his car.
Yeah, she gone.
What a great sight this really is. It's good.
Oh, and that's the tuners. That's not a new one.
Yep, not a new one. So what this means is y'all get more content because we have less cars out here, so we got more time to pick up the camera. You guys should be happy about it. Let's dive into tomorrow.
Alright, what's up guys? It's Saturday. We are here working on Donnie's car today. I got a whole bunch of, I shouldn't say a whole bunch, but I got a decent amount of Schedule 80 90s. Some short, some long, and then a whole bunch of pipe. And we're gonna build us a Mac Daddy header up in here. Got the flange on, got the collector down there. We got some, I think it's 2 1/8 primary. I wanted to get smaller, but they were flat out at anything from like, I think it was 1.5 inches was the biggest we could get besides this. So we had to make do and get some of this. She's pretty thick, but she's gonna breathe. This thing's gonna be running nitrous, and you know, it's high compression, so figured we'd rather have a bigger exhaust than a pea shooter exhaust. But yeah, we're just gonna go bam to bam, and then I'm gonna go bam to bam, bam to bam, bam to bam. You'll see the vision in a minute, but right now I took 15 out of this one, 15 degrees, so I could see how I'm gonna, because the motor leans back 15 degrees, so I'm trying to get this pretty straight down, and then it's gonna kick back into the collector. But yeah, let me do some math and some figuring and some fitting, and then I'll show y'all guys when I got 1 or 2 kind of fitted up. Catch y'all probably in like a couple hours.
All right, y'all. Rochelle's working on this headliner here. It's going pretty dang good. That's gonna go on there. It's for our car. It's been eating it for quite some time. We got Butch over there making some noise on the old Saab, just cruising right along on this stuff here. Woo, baby. Yep, that's gonna be rad. I'm gonna do just a little welding on it, and then he's just gonna weld the whole damn thing. Little back purging. I appreciate him letting me do that. But I'm over here working on the wagon. Got that mount cut out. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one out also and just make all my own mounts for this car. But right now, I'm gonna go ahead and get this tranny stabbed on there and see how that goes. All right, I gotta get this driver's side axle out, and the engine will sit down the way that it needs to. It's even still moving. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab the axles that we have and slap them in this thing probably. Get the correct axles in it with the intermediate shaft and all of that. And hope everything is super close. It's gonna be super hard actually to make the mounts for this because I don't have the spacer for the drive line. So I'd hate to put this all in the wrong spot and then the spacer not adapt, but I think I can find the dimensions of it online and leave myself the little gap, and then we should be good to go. So let's get this axle out, let's get this engine set in here, and I'm ready to have K-Series in this wagon.
We got here our good old back purge rig. Got these all fitted up, got them mostly welded up. Doing pretty good. Got some nice dime stacks up in there. And then there's number 1. I gotta finish 4 more welds on that, which I actually have set up for Taylor, so he can come play around on some back purging and get that welded up. Then I'm going to, I gotta cut the collector because it's 3.5. I gotta cut it down to a 3-inch. It's just a cone, so I'm gonna cut it down until it's a 3-inch radius. So I can weld the V-band there, and then I got a plate up here that I'm gonna drill and tap for the flange so that I can bolt the flange down to this before I weld the primaries onto the flange. So yeah, get this welded up, get that cut down, get the V-band on that, get this drilled and tapped, get the flange on, and then start welding the manifold all actually together. So yeah, catch y'all in a minute. Woo, doggy.
Alright y'all, Butch is tacking the exhaust to the header and the collector. So he's doing that in the car so he knows it's all right where he wants it. Just like that. Tack there, tack down there. And then I think he said he's gonna do the number 3 flange as well. Tack it here and down because it'll be opposite corners on it. Then he's gonna pull that baby out, throw it over there. He built this rad little flange. Boom. And that is going to work very well to keep everything flat when he pulls it off the car and welds it. I just had a blast making this axle. I took this axle and that axle and I made this axle. This one will fit in the wagon. It cost me $0. It was just a greasy, nasty mess. But that thing's clean now. I'm gonna go ahead, slap it in the wagon. Once I get that axle in, I'll be able to get this leveled up square. I got my height about where I want it. And then I will go ahead and start building my motor mounts for this side and that side there. The wife's giving the 8th gen a little bath. She got the new headliner in. That looks amazing. So let's dive into some more action and hopefully we can have a exhaust done and a K-series done by the end of this weekend.
All right, it's been about probably 14 hours, 12 to 14 hours since I started. Nah, less than that. I don't know. I started at like 9:30, 10 o'clock today, and it's about 12, it's 10:30 now. I'm a little tired if you can't tell. But I got this bad dog whipped out. I gotta do some more welding. Ooh, that's hot, don't touch that. I gotta do some more welding around these bolts. Tomorrow I'm gonna go grab some Allens. And then I'm gonna hog out a little bit around each bolt just so it's easier to get them on and off and stuff. But yeah, turned out pretty nice. I think Donnie's gonna be pretty happy with this one. This is my first ever manifold too. We did a whole back purge. I don't know if y'all saw that. But yeah, first ever manifold. Pretty happy with how it came out. For a very first manifold, this is pretty bad dog, I think. I've done a lot of exhaust work, so the fabrication of the manifold was not hard for me. This is the first time I've ever gotten to do it and weld it all together and stuff. And that's where I think a lot of people struggle when they try to build manifolds, is they don't have that skill already. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go home and go to bed because I'm fucking tired. So tomorrow I'm gonna get those bolts, get this welded up. I I gotta weld the inside seams of the very bottoms of these, but get that all done, put it on the car, and then I gotta refit some of his old exhaust and build kind of to it ish. I'm gonna change up a bunch of it because not a great exhaust that was built on this car originally. Like, there's a section of the muffler that's literally like, you can't, I'm holding the camera. It's literally like 14 inches with a V-band on each side, and there's no point of that. Like, why do you need this little section to take out? Because then it had like another like 4, maybe 3 foot section behind that also had another V-band, and then it zigzagged in the back and stuff. It had like 4 or 5 V-bands on its whole exhaust. I do 3 sections typically. With this one, I'm gonna try to do 2, really. But I'll have like a front half section, and then have like a mid pipe that will unbolt roughly kind of close to the tire, and then a tailpipe section. But since I have that big dog over there, that's my like front section, because it's gonna bring me to, you know, probably about here. So then I'm gonna have another section to probably here. So 1 V-band, 2 V-band, and then that's it. Nothing else. That's what I'm hoping, at least. So I'm gonna go home, go to bed, and catch y'all tomorrow.
Woo! It's a new day down here. It's Sunday. We are putting in the hours. Butch is out getting some Allens so he can go ahead and bolt the exhaust on Donnie's car. This thing came out slicker than snot. He hasn't welded around the bolts yet because he wants to get some Allens, make sure everything's gonna fit good. Then he will go ahead and wrap that baby up. I think it was a lot of fun. Man, oh man. That's gonna sound good on Donnie's car. I just moved the wagon, as you guys seen. Woo! What a chore. Having those axles in already kind of made it a bugger, but hey, it's all good. Now I'm gonna jack the back up, get this thing set level again, and then I'm going to go ahead, measure the rear diff, make sure that, or the rear differential, rear differential. The diff on the all-wheel drive, the output for it, for the drive line. Man, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna make sure that it's the same height as the vicious coupler in the rear end. Make sure it's all level, start building mounts. So let's dive into the day. I've been at measuring a little while here. I got this string out. I've done some measurements off the valve cover to make sure I'm all squared up. I've been down on the bottom. I have got my degree finder on the output shaft there so I can make sure that I'm about 90 degrees. I'm like 89, so I'm 1 degree off. That'll be real close. The yoke can take that up. But I am all squared up in the bay. I'm sitting level. I'm 11.5 inches at the output, and I'm 11.5 inches, and I'm 11.5 inches at the rear end. 11.5 all the way throughout, so that is good. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the pitch of everything, the angle of everything. It's all sits real close back there. But what I can do is shave down the tranny. I kind of started to shave some, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait for me to actually pull this thing out. I'll shave it up and see what I'm working with. So that's kind of where we're at on this guy. I am going to, I guess, start fabbing mounts. I think I'm gonna start with that driver's one over there and kind of get it set in place. Then I'll come over here to the passenger side, figure out what I'm gonna do with it, and then just kind of go from there. So let's jump into a time lapse and see how it goes. So I know I said I was gonna give you guys a time lapse, but that did not happen. All right, I got busy making these mounts. So the reason did not get a time lapse is because I started tigging this and I just didn't want to get in my feels. So I tigged up my bracket there. That's our 1 motor mount there, all tigged, pretty happy with it. And then I was definitely in my feels on this one. And I migged it in all 4 corners and then tigged over the top of all of it. So it all went pretty dang good. That's the first time I've done anything to like sheet metal to like the frame of a car other than Donnie's, but that was a thick bar and a thick plate. So it welded pretty good. You guys can see I migged it over here, and I'm actually really not happy with it. Wish I would have just tigged those also, but what do? Those are migged, the rest of it's tigged. The K series is in place just like it ought to be. It measures out, height's right, diff's in the right location. I think everything's good on it. Woo! Butch ran to Summit. He's gonna knock out Donnie's exhaust. He's got like 13 inches to weld in. 2 more welds, I think, and it is done. So, full exhaust on Donnie's car this weekend. K-Series in this thing this weekend. It was overall really good weekend. We're gonna dive in tomorrow. It's the start of a week, and let's hope it's a good one. Change of a new day here on this Monday. I was supposed to have a paint job, but it hasn't showed up yet. So we're gonna knock the fenders and side skirts out on Kenny's car. Get these bad boys on there. It'll at least maybe look a little bit better for his wedding. And then come this winter when we get some downtime, we'll go ahead and get this thing painted up for him. But that's what Butch and I are gonna work on. Lee showed up today, got the Miata tuned, and we had to do just a few little things on it. We're gonna get the transmission leak fixed on that car, and then it is 100% ready to go home. Great running little car, super happy with it. But for now, let's dive into this NSX and see if we can't get something done on it. Tons of double-sided sticky tape holding that guy on there. I'll see if I can find some clips, put them back in so we can slide that other one on to hold it there. But we got this one off. Butch and I just went ahead and pulled these fenders off. Somebody's had quite the fun with them. They're all fiberglassed on the back side, and this one's got even more resin in it. But overall, I think still good fenders, NSX fenders. We just have to run the fatter ones for the tire that's going on this thing. So let's dive into all the new parts going on. Boy, oh boy, here we go again. Lee's Miata on the lift. Tranny coming out. Yup.
Or whatever that is.
Stupid oil leak. It's gotta be coming out of that bolt. Or out of that seal.
Now you see this shit.
Yup.
There.
So that's what our boy Butch is doing today. He's dropping Lee's trans so we can figure out that leak. And that is like the last piece to our puzzle on this car. Once we get that solved, Lee's Miata is good to go home. He was tuning on it yesterday. That's all Gucci. Our boy Rob just came down with his good friend Mark. Good to meet them. Super awesome people. Gave us a few more ideas. We're gonna go get bars for this truck today. Somehow, some way, today there will be bars for this truck. Oh yeah, this is what they actually came down for. Ka-chow!
Somewhere about there.
Dang, that's gonna be rowdy. Yup. Big old spoiler going on this truck. The final piece, they say. I doubt it, but there's gonna be a whole lot more. He's gonna be searching the web and see things and pow, get it. This truck's gonna be just straight radical when it's all done. But the wife and I are doing this truck today. We got the tonneau cover and the roof to paint black again. So let's dive in, see how this day goes, and hopefully we get a bunch knocked out. Take a look at that, would ya? Butch is gonna split this transmission right through here. Hopefully that comes off real easy on the top section. I think it will. Should just have like the sensor, a few little things in it, but it should be pretty simple. Split that. It's leaking right here out of that bolt. leaking, going down. It's the only thing we can figure out. The entire transmission's dry. Other than that,
dry, bolt. Clutch is dry. Everything is dry. It just has this one little like trail of fluid that'll kind of hang out and drip. We don't know why.
Dang. So that's our last resort, and if it still leaks, well, burn it to the ground. That's all you can do at that point. We've got this Ford in here, sanding away on it. You guys know the deal. This had terrible chip paint on the roof, oxidization, so we got it all dug out. I got all my little spots dug out. We'll throw some primer over this thing and then shoot it black. Tunnel cover, roof. Customer wants door handles, but I'm telling you, if I do them door handles, then things are gonna be so shiny bright on the side of that truck that they're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Tunnel cover, not gonna really be able to tell, but you'll still be able to tell. Roof, that don't matter because you can't see it. So we're gonna get this training done, we're gonna get this truck done, hopefully get a few more jobs done, and then get some bars with this truck. That mom's a badass, guys. Mom's driving the CRX home. That thing's running great. We love it. We love it. That's a rad mom right there. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, yeah.
Right hand drive.
Right.
Standard.
Yeah.
And she cruising like she didn't stall it. She didn't do
Not
nothing.
even one time.
Nope. She's just
Nope.
ripping. She has driven it like 20 years apparently too.
Yeah. How cool. We gave her a little advice on the right-hand drive and we sent them on down the road. So we picked up 15 sticks of some DOM. It's time to get that EXO S10 on the road. 2 transmissions in one day. Butch busted the Miata out. That thing went smooth. This one we were hoping for smoothness, but we got ugliness. That's right, y'all. The bolts are broke off. He had a money shift on this thing, broke 6 of the 8 flywheel bolts, and now we're stuck where we're stuck. Butch and I are going to try and get these bolts out of the crank, but if not, looks like we'll be putting an engine in this thing. He actually bought an engine from us. That's the gentleman that bought the K24 from us. So we might actually be putting that K24 in this car a whole lot sooner than he was wanting. And then he'll start the build on this engine a whole lot sooner than he was wanting, but I'm sure it's all gonna work out. But I think that's gonna be for tomorrow. I think we're gonna get ready to get out of here for the night. I'm gonna throw Butch on that SI or that Type R tomorrow, Type R trans in the morning, and then I think I'm gonna fight with this thing here. And if that all goes well, we'll have the Type R knocked out and we'll have this one knocked out here. It's another day out here. It should be like Transmission Tuesday, but it's actually Wednesday. It was Transmission Tuesday and it slid over into Wednesday. We've got this Type R in. By the looks of it, this dude drives this car pretty hard. Them tires have seen better days. He says he likes to rally this thing. But coming with the rally comes a transmission. Right there, broken, baby. No, just kidding. Just the sensor's broken. So that's easy enough. We'll pop that off his other trans, get it slapped on this trans. 6-speed, and that's a big old counter shaft or weight on that one. Pretty straightforward. That's kind of crazy, like a tranny cooler deal.
Pretty same though.
Oh yeah.
Now, shifter stuff, master.
I don't know if that'd bolt onto a K series. That's a little bit different there, where the starter goes. But overall the same. Real close. We're gonna do that and a clutch on this thing. Lucky dog, getting a clutch done. And then I am going to fight the bolts on this S2000. Try to weld to those, get those guys out. If not, crank or doing an engine on that. We've seen a couple broken parts before. So let's dive into it and see what we can get into here. All right. I got a success rate of 1 going as of right now. It's not a win, but we're getting it. If you look here, I can wiggle that bolt now. So what I did was welded a washer onto the bolt, broken bolt, and then welded that nut onto the bolt. So let's see if that baby wants to come all the way out. I think I might have got lucky on one. There's one that's broke off way deep in there, and that one, it's a little worrisome, but I think hopefully I can get it without messing the balance of this crank up. It's gonna be the biggest thing, making sure the crank stays good. Hey, them are some long old bolts, man. All right, guys, I got her. Just like that. That's a success rate of 1. That's about 20 minutes right there or so of trying to get that dang thing welded on there and in. You got to make sure to get just the bolt. So you got to build a little bit up on the head of it and then set your washer and then gap it over to your washer, because otherwise you're going to weld that straight to that crank, and that is not what you want, because that's a steel crank and that's a steel bolt, and everything I'm using is steel. That's why this one right down here, that one's scary. It's gonna be a tough one, but I think I can get it. I'm gonna dive into the rest of these and see if we can get them out. Super catch 22 on these newer Civics on if you're gonna have to drop the cross member or not. In this one, it looks like we are. Dang nabbit. Always something. It's the automatic one came right out, no dropping cross member. But this one looks like it's gotta come down. Pain in the butt. It's not even like the 8th gen with the 3 easy bolts. Bugger. But anyways, I was getting ready to turn this crank on this thing, and that bolt's loose. Yep. Cannot make that up. I think with the over rev, it got both sides, so hopefully this engine's okay. Let's finish getting these bolts out. They've been fighting me. I got one left and it's a bugger, so I'm gonna turn this engine over, get it to the bottom, see if I can get to it a little better, and hopefully got all of them out.
What's up, guys? Working on this here Type R. I had to pull the whole subframe out, pull the axles out, pull the exhaust off, pull all the airbox stuff off, pull the battery out, and then now we can get to the transmission. I gotta go through and I gotta pop the intermediate shaft out, pop these lower lower bell housing bolts out. I got everything on the top done. I got shifter cables off, you can see all that stuff. Got the whole harness disconnected, all that stuff. Coolant lines undone for this tranny cooler that they got going on. So just these couple bolts on the bottom, and then I should be able to slide her out now. I left the rack up, got her all tied up. I tried pulling the ball joints off and I could not get these BZs to pop. I air hammered them, smacked them with a hammer, tried popping them with a pry bar. They just weren't coming off. So I had to pull the control arms off the subframe, which that took a little more time and it was kind of dumb, but ended up being easier than trying to fight those out. So yeah, should have this out in the next probably 20-30 minutes and get that one put on. Overall, not too bad. It is still a brand new car, so I can't be, that wishful with my thinking on how it's going to come apart. But it's still overall not that bad. I think it's noon now, so I've been at it for probably about 3 hours, and I've almost got it out, so not too bad. Slower than a K, slower than any other Honda. The newer ones are harder because you have to pull the subframes out. The 8th gens, pulling the transmission, actually you have to pull the subframe out too, but everything prior to that you can normally just pull the transmission off because there's no bar. The 8th gens have a bar that runs here that kind of gets in your way, and then they also are a little tight on this side. But this BZ's right here, they give you absolutely zero room to try and even attempt to fish it out, so yeah. But I'll catch up with y'all in I'll probably get that one back in get it set where it's at now. So it'll probably be a couple hours. But yeah, see y'all in a little bit.
Kicked my butt. So these ones right here all came out without a fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Yep. And then this whole pile right here is me trying to get one bolt out. And you guys can see, like right there, it actually grabbed and pulled out threads. So that's what I was fighting on that one. But I did get it drilled out to where it'll accept now an M12 by 1 tap. If you guys still can kind of see in there, there's still a little bit of the bolt. But I have it so thin now that the walls of the bolt are trying to break in, but I can't get anything small enough in there to like chisel it out. So I ordered an M12 by 1 tap. I'm gonna tap it in there, pull all those threads out, and then tap it again, and that'll give me a fresh set of threads in there. That's whooped for tonight until I get that tap in. Butch got that transmission changed. Them Type R's are a little bit of a bugger. Got to make sure that motor mount on the driver or passenger side doesn't slide out and you lose the engine. So make sure if you do them, you ratchet strap that guy over so it stays on there. But he's getting ready to put the cradle all up and now, all the suspension, all that good stuff. But those are a little bit of a chore. It's a mix of like a B series, a D series, a K series, an H series, kind of all of them. It uses B series pilot or clutch alignment tool.
Yeah, it's a B series input shaft, basically.
B series, yeah. So, but other than that, going pretty well. Today's just been, yesterday went so smooth. Today's gonna fight us, and tomorrow and Friday are on to this guy. So we're really trying to button that one up, and then I was trying to button this up, but I'll wait for that tap to come in and we'll get it knocked out. And I think Butch is gonna work on the old Banana tomorrow, and I'm gonna work on Lee's EM1, I believe. The lift should be open, so I should be able to get quite a bit done on his car. Got a couple preludes in for some diagnostic work, but those can wait until next week.
That was a day, guys. I just want y'all to know she's all back together. She's all good to go. No check engine lights. I didn't take it off the lift, but I put it in all the gears on the lift. Made sure she went into reverse and everything there. Yeah, this thing fought me tooth and nail. When I was trying to put the transmission back on after I'd pulled it off, this mount literally slid out of this fucking like housing deal, and it was on the edge of it. The motor was like almost hang dangling, about to just fall out. So I had to catch it, and Taylor had to come help me, and we had to like pick the motor up and like fish it back in there. Yeah, that was a fight, but it's all back together. I'd show you, but I have to NASCAR it back in there because it's on the lift, and I don't feel like doing that right now. I'm going home. Taylor's got to come back because he's going to paint. But yeah, I'm going home. This is done. Took me, it's like 7 now. So I'd say it probably took me all of 10 hours to do this. Only because of that mount, though. If that wouldn't have came out, then it probably wouldn't have taken me nearly as long. I probably would have been done by like 4. But that set me back.
All right, Butch, let's tell the people. What you working on?
We're working on the big old banana split today.
Banana split.
It's not the actual name, but that's what we're calling it.
We like it more. I'm a banana split type of guy.
Yeah.
Canary yellow.
We're gonna chop the frame off on the front and back, get the plates boxed in, get the cap up, and get the front cab mounts made, get everything set into place, and then weld the rear bars in, and then start mocking up and fitting pipe for the back. Oh, I'm gonna cut these off too.
He said he's gonna do everything first that he doesn't want to do later. So he's gonna get all the BS out of the way and then all the fun stuff to come. Yep. So we're gonna jump into that. Butch is gonna just have a good old time. He's got 15 sticks to start with, and if we need more, we need more. But we're gonna start at the back, work our way to the front. You guys are gonna get to see a lot of that. There's actually gonna be, I wanna get kind of involved in this one on the video side of it, bending, so on and so forth. Maybe once we get one side figured out, we'll work on the other, vice versa, whatever have you. but I want you people to kind of know what we're doing on this one. It's gonna be a big one, it's gonna be a fun one, and we can't wait to see this truck out and about.
Yes.
You guys are gonna thoroughly enjoy it. I think Rob's one of them guys that once he gets this back, it's gonna be running within like a week. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think he's one of them guys. He's already got the truck ready to go. It's just waiting on us, basically. So we're gonna push every Thursday, Friday, every week until that truck's done. And that's how that one's gonna go. I think it's a good way to keep us on track and not burn us out on it. You can get burnt out just laying and bending and welding, and it gets to be a lot if you do it 5, 6, 7 days a week. And I am going to get Kenny pretty well situated. We're gonna get the side skirts on, get a few things lined up here and there, get a few things taken care of, like the back bumper. It's about to fall off down in that lower section, so I'm at least gonna get some fiberglass resin in there and get that just a little bit better in that aspect of it. But other than that, this car's basically ready to go home. We're fighting the electric power steering issue. It works half the time and it doesn't work the other half the time. So we know for a fact it is definitely in the rack on this thing, the electric power steering unit itself. Just the way it's acting. If you fire it up and drive it in a straight line, it'll never have the light come on. You make 10, 12, 15 turns, boom, you got a dang electric power steering light. Other than that, absolutely everything's working on the car. Blinkers, headlights, turn signals, brake lights, you name it. Yeah, reverse lights. You name it, it's working. I'm gonna wire a little stereo into that thing, get them side skirts on, and just watch this car go on until this winter. So let's dive into some action and enjoy the day. Butch did some simple quick math on these guys, and this is where he's gonna lop it off. Right behind this mount on both sides there. That'll make it nice and level. Cap those, won't get in the way of the steering box and stuff. Because if it was this guy, we'd be going like rack and pinion and chopping somewhere in here. And you guys don't even know the Plymouth deal. We chopped it all up. But this thing's gonna be super rad. Butch is gonna get to cutting all that off there. It's gonna get noisy on us. And throw you guys into a time lapse and see how this goes. How many inches you cut off the front of that thing?
Like
8. We took roughly 8 inches out of the front of that thing there, as you guys seen. Butch just knocked it out. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Now he's gonna come in and plate the front of this. Bam and bam. With some probably like 3/16 or 8, whatever we got laying around. Get those welded in. And then he's gonna go to the back, chop it off the same way, cap it, and then get the cab set. Then start putting bars in. So he's got that. I'm having to cut crazy on this guy. They don't fit worth a damn. So we're gonna cut the front off of that. I've already got that shaped and fit. Fiberglass, spend all that money on it for it not to fit. Let's get this thing fitting. Let's get this truck looking like a big old tube. And
really short when I'm done with it.
Yeah,
add everything to it.
It's gonna be sick.
It's gonna look like a normal S10 again.
Minus the body panels.
You stretched the frame, and now I'm cutting the ends off the front of the frame, so it's going to be like an original size, just chassis.
Extendo kit.
Wheel to wheel. What's that term?
The wheelbase there?
Wheelbase. There we go. Wheelbase is wider, but it's going to be about the same length.
Yep. Let's dive into another time lapse and get some more done.
The jack right as fuel got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath. I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said.
What's going on, guys? As you can see, Got her all lopped off and chopped and cleaned up. Got the front end cleaned up. So I'm gonna go through now. I'm gonna pick the front of the cab up just a skosh. It used to have these cab mounts that were welded here, but since he stretched the frame, they don't line up anymore. So I got that one here. I'm going to probably end up having to shave that brake line tab, because that's probably about where it's gonna end up. But as you can see, it'll bolt up to those. It's got a little cope in it right here. So it's gonna bolt up, and then I'm gonna weld it just to the frame, just like that one was. I'll put a plate in probably, and then weld that to the plate. And then she'll be set. And then after I get that set, make sure the cab's mounted where it's gonna be, not moving. Then I'm gonna come and I'm gonna weld these bars in to the back side of here. And then, yeah, plate these up. Plate that one up. This one, I'm gonna go through and probably cut these off more. I just wanted to shave them down a little bit so I don't slice my hand on them later. I gotta fit up a bar that'll go from here to roughly in a little lower probably, but it's gonna come across and then 90 down, and that's gonna be where his fuel cell is gonna mount to. There's gonna be a plate on the top of it. I'll run two tie bars in it, and then after that's made, then I'm gonna run bars from this bar down to that one and kind of, you know, net it in a sense. Those will be removable so you can get the fuel cell in and out. We'll do some of the like roll cage clasp tabs where they like go in and then you put the bolt in it, so to lock those in place. But yeah, all the nitty gritty nasty stuff is pretty much done. Now I get to start doing the funner stuff. I gotta cut more because I gotta cut those plates that I'm gonna weld in on each spot. But after I do that, then I should be done with like the nasty cutting with the cutoff wheel and cleaning and stuff like that. And then I can get to just bar. And as you can see, we got a bunch of bar. Whole bunch of Mac Daddy. That's all going on that bad girl. Oh, is this sideways? I see the thing over there. Anyways, yeah, throw y'all back into a time lapse. I may not, because this really isn't going to be that much time lapsey stuff. You're just going to see the cab kind of just move up, and then me just walking around a whole bunch. So, yeah, probably catch y'all after that's done, and then we'll probably throw in a time lapse when I go to weld all this stuff up. See y'all in a little bit. All right, back again. Got everything cut out, and then I'm gonna weld onto this. Got everything cleaned up, then I'm gonna weld to. This is the frame mount that I was talking about. So this is what's actually gonna bolt right up in here. And then I got this plate that I'm gonna weld to the frame, and then that bar is gonna weld to this plate. Then I got the front plates. They'll go in like that and get them all nice and gap welded up in there. That's gonna be so much fun. I love those welds. And then I got this bad boy here. I guess I could put my hand. Yeah. So that'll go there. And then this bad dog back here. And then this one, I'm gonna weld that seam there. And then I'm gonna weld the whole shebang-a-lang, all three of them, just like that. Just big old Mac Daddy weld. That one's gonna be the funnest. Can't wait for that one. Yeah, and then I got these. I'm gonna weld this seam in here, all the way around. And then I'll probably weld these bolt holes shut. I gotta grind the actual receiver side. I got this ground down so I can weld that up too. I got all the sides. So get ready and clean up my gigantic mess over here and sweep up and spray off everything. And then I'll throw y'all on a time lapse and weld all this stuff up. Catch y'all in a minute. What's up, guys? It's Friday. It's bright. Taylor today is gonna pull the wagon in, and he's gonna switch out and put this bad dog motor in there, because then the motor that is in the wagon right now used to be in this car, went to the wagon. Now she's gonna end up in the HN. Taylor's gonna swap that over into the HN so that he can pull the motor out of the HN and freshen the Z3 up, because she's a little tired. She had 220 before he turboed it, and she's got a solid 15,000 on it turboed. So she's a little smoky. But yeah, so he'll get that in, get that swapped out. And then the wagon is pretty much ready to start setting up to run. We gotta put a pump in it, put lines on it. We already have all the fuel tech stuff for it. We got the motor, we got the tranny, we got all the drive shaft stuff. We gotta get them shortened, but we have all of the pieces for all of that. We got a radiator, we have everything. So that thing should be a ripper pretty soon. We're gonna make sure we get this one done. This is scheduling the dyno for sometime beginning of next month. So like a week, 2 weeks, something like that. Got the header all on, exhaust is all knocked out. We got to put a couple grounds on, tidy up some wiring stuff. I know we've said that a million times. That's my fault. I'm just being lazy with the harness. I gotta wire like the windows up and the rear running lights, and you know, just being lazy. But yeah, we'll get that knocked out, get her tuned, and then Donnie can start driving and racing and doing all his fun stuff again with this car. And then today, I'm gonna be welding on the banana. So yeah, we'll get y'all set up in a time lapse. Get ready to work on this Friday. It's gonna be a good Friday. So yeah, catch you on a little bit.
Look at that big meat. Look at that big meat. Man, he's got a grin on his face just rolling them things around the shop. Let me tell you, them things are just a smile, just rolling on down away. They're great. Big tires like that are just fun to have around, especially because I'm a Honda guy. So we don't have big tires like that floating around all the time. Like that's a big tire for us up there, you know. Like that's a big meat there. So those are a blast. But anyways, you guys heard from Butch a little bit this morning, and I'm taking the red-headed stepchild out and putting the old blue Smurf in. Yep, that one's got to come out. This one's got to go in. Oh, and I gotta go get the phone. I'll be right back with y'all. That phone stayed busy, let me tell you. I'm just gonna put it in my pocket. Anyways, K20A coming out. I was gonna keep that engine in there, but we picked this one up the other day. K24A, 1000cc injectors, comp clutch, hybrid racing fuel rail, all the good stuff. We're gonna get ready to put this girl in there, pull that one out, and put it in the 8th gen. 8th gen's due for an engine, so this one will make a good candidate. I would put the 24 in the 8th gen, but then we have to change our turbo kit and all sorts of little stuff there. I'm not really finna to do that, so put the K20A in there. I'm gonna get this thing up, get the axles out, get this engine pulled real quick. Butch is over there working away on that girl. Let's see how this Friday goes. Kind of silly seeing the old wagon up on the lift. That K-Series is out. I just strapped it down. I'm gonna pull the tranny off while it stays on that one. And then I'm gonna try to put the tranny on this one and then turn it on this cart and then lower the car back down, and hopefully that one will all bolt up just like it should. Butch is cruising right away on this thing. Woo! Getting all his caps put in. Those are beautiful there. All nice and level. Heck yeah, look at that. Look at that. But what about the angle in it? And now he is gonna work on the back here. You know how nice it is? I finally built an extension for the shop. I had a cord sitting up there forever, and now we've got an extension cord for the welders. It's all nice, done right. It's amperage correct even, so it'll work with the welders. And now we can have two machines running at the exact same time. Pretty nice. That's gonna be huge. Today I'm gonna be working on that, and you're gonna be working on this. Getting ready to weld these ones in now.
I'm gonna wait to do those.
Do your plate. Oh, set the cab.
So I'm gonna do that one down there and this one.
Heck yeah.
Set the cab, do that.
Yeah, did he show you these neat little plates he built? I like them. They're gonna look good. Bam. Yep. That's gonna be a nice little finished plate there for that. Because we cannot get rid of this completely due to that cab mount. That's double cab mounted in the back. Extra safe there. But I'm gonna jump back on that. Donnie even is making good headway on the hatch over here. He got his fans put in. Got 2 fans there put in. And working on getting some grounds hooked up now. I went through and shaved this thing and we chopped off the front end, so really no grounds to be found anywhere. I found one up underneath the car that we're gonna do, and then we're gonna utilize this one here to run up over here. Boom, that ground's actually on now. So once we get these grounds, we can start hopefully wrapping the throttle on this guy. Let's find out. Boy, oh boy, Butch is just putting it in on this Friday. We had Kenny down here for a little while today, so we took a little time, hung out with him. We like when Kenny comes around, took some photos, BS'd. Butch is killing it though. Look at these. Look at those. Woo! Them are gonna be some solid plates on the back of this thing.
Yeah, so to everyone that's gonna see that, it's a big ass weld. But it's because there's a frame inside here. I welded the plate to the frame, and then I welded the frame and plate also to this exterior clamping structure deal.
And I think when we're all said and done, there's gonna be no bolts holding that in. I think it's gonna be fully welded. Yep.
It'll have these still, so I don't know if we can cap it to like here probably.
Yep,
But
yep.
This one will still have to be able
This
to come
one.
out. Yeah, but we can cap all that.
Yep. Coming right along. We're loving this thing. Yep, these plates, I showed those. Those are sweet. I really like them. They came out really good. They look right. Loving it. Got the front all bobbed. This thing's coming right along, y'all. Yep.
And then I got the mount here.
Oh yeah, working on some cab mounts.
This one's ready. I'm just reusing his old mount. And the truck is up higher than it needs to be right now too. The cab is. Had it up to make room.
Oh heck yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just like that.
That'll be perfect. Yep.
That all welded up in there.
Damn straight.
And then we got a cab mount. And then after those, I gotta notch that one and clean that one. But after those are done and welded, then the fun stuff starts.
Then it starts. Yep. Yep. Cab will be mounted.
Oh, and then once I get the cab mounted where I want it, then weld these up.
Yep, these used to be slip bars. They're not gonna slip no more. They're gonna be fully welded. No reason to slip out.
That's it. Then fun stuff starts.
Yeah. Yeah, the old banana. Then we put the big wheels back on it, get rid of these little things, and start having lots of fun. I got the redheaded stepchild out. We got this one in. It fought me a little bit. The K24s are taller engines, and they mount different because they have longer timing chain covers. So if you build a mount or have a mount for a K20 and you go to a K24, you actually have to change that. So on this one, I'm just gonna cut my plate and add a little bracket down on the bottom, weld it in, clean it up, and then you guys won't be able to see it, but I actually did the same on Donovan's aluminum one. Right down there, I had to take and cut it and extend it and add a piece of aluminum onto it and weld it all back in. I've had to do that now. This will be my second time having to do that there. But other than that, it's in. I am going to start working on a front mount and a traction mount. Things got a little close here, guys. Yeah, like really close. But it does clear. I had to cut a little bit out of the headlight bucket, so I'll clean all that up. But it does clear, and that is how I am going to run it. I'm not scared. It doesn't scare me none having it that close to any of my headlight bucket stuff. It's all gonna work out just fine in that aspect. So now I'm gonna work on probably getting all the suspension stuff back in it, getting my axles in. I gotta put a C-clip on one of the end of my axles that I built so it stays together. And then I'll slap axles in, and then we will go ahead and start putting the turbo kit kind of mocked up on this thing. Getting those front mounts, the traction mount built, and then get shift cables in. It'll go pretty quick from here on out.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Not too shabby, huh? Yeah, pretty straight.
Chairman.
Yeah. Pretty straight. And then it is actually going to work out pretty good. We'll catch you guys in a minute.
What's up, guys? Oh, I'm a little dirty. It's been a couple hours. I think it's like 6 now. I don't know if I showed y'all. I think Taylor did. All my plates that got welded in, blah, blah, blah. I got the cab mount welded up. Got her all chooched in. So the cab is set now. Ka-chow. So cab is set, and now I'm setting these rear bars. Got this one set and done. It's all welded up. Some Mac Daddy welds on that one too. I love welding big stuff. It's so much fun. Got that one ready. That one turned out really nice. And then my tack too. But yeah. So I got those set up. I gotta weld that little gap on each one of those, and then I'm gonna plug the back sides. Got that one done on the front, or I guess the back side of the truck, but yeah, got those done. I gotta do those two still. And then once that's all set in place, then I could start building out the back half of everything. Oh yeah, and then I'm gonna add a gusset bar too. That's gonna go from here to there, ka-chow. And it'll stay in line with the window, or not in line, but inset from the window. And it'll just add some more structure to everything up in there. I think it'll look pretty cool too. But yeah. First welding that thing up, and then go home, because it's Friday. How you feeling, Donnie?
Doing good.
Yeah?
Doing good.
Good Friday?
Yeah. It's just starting for me, so.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. EG's up on the Jackie stands. Tidying up a bunch of stuff. I've said it a million times. We're going to keep saying it until it's done. But yeah, tidying up a bunch of little stuff. But yeah. Catch y'all guys probably in the next video. I don't know when the videos end or start. But yeah. See y'all later.
Woo, as you guys seen, Butch was killing it on this one. He went home for the night. He called it quits. He put in one heck of a week here. I still got Donnie down here. I held him hostage. We're getting ready to fire this thing up. He made some changes. We got map and O2 sensor now. I think those are the two big things that the car really wanted. I sure hope so. I'm gonna play with the fuel system a little bit here. We're gonna kind of see what we got. He made some changes, like I said. We're gonna try to crank this thing. Hopefully it fires up. Let's double check some fluids. We got coolant in this thing, no leaks, new radiator worked. We know for a fact oil is in it. We know for a fact tranny fluid is in it. And also today we filled the reservoirs. Them babies are full of some good old O'Reilly's .3. I'm gonna throw you guys on the tripod. Let's see if she fires up. That's the bug zapper. So let me go and plug that. Okay. That was really good though. Yeah. So now we need more fuel pressure.
Okay.
Oh, thank you for putting the plate on, Donnie.
Okay.
Your exhaust one.
I still need to finish everything, the bumper off, get the I gotta get the washers and the bolts, the nuts on, but I figure at least it's hot and held in place.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So there she started. We're gonna start her up one more time here. Let me I need to find a good ground. I don't have one right now.
I really think I could just do that when I'm racing. Just fucking clip it on.
I think you should.
Just clip it on the EQD.
I mean, why not?
Well, it's not working now.
I have the key off.
No, no, you don't.
Well, I have it off.
Position one.
Yeah. It's grounded. All right, y'all. We're gonna fire this thing up one more time, I think, here. Now I think we actually need more fuel pressure.
It sounded like it was trying to run, but just
So didn't have enough. Let's see. All right, we're gonna let this thing run just a minute if it will. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. I'm gonna end it there. We'll catch you guys next week with this car, hopefully on the dyno.